Ray Yergs back here with another episode of Third and Long Pick 6 Show. Week 9 NFL picks. Can you believe that we are already at Week 9? It is crazy to think that we are flying through the season already. Wild, wild, wild. Coming off a 3-3 week last week. Looking to improve. Yeah, it was a little bit tough, but 23-25-1 overall on the season. So let's continue to capitalize. See if we can get strong again this week. We keep heading in the right direction. Let's just make those little minor tweaks. We got still a long season left to go. So hang on tight because this is where we start to roll. All right? Thanks again for tuning in. Really appreciate the support. If you haven't done it already, make sure you go subscribe on YouTube and Twitter at The Real Ray Yergs. Make sure you hit that notification button and hit those likes. Just helps grow the channel more with all your support. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys like the new setup. Trying to do a little bit more. You can see, got a little sign over here indicating, Third and Long Pick 6 Show. Got some new little lighting going on here. So trying to spice it up a little bit in the old studio. So hopefully you guys like it. And we'll get right into it, all right? Listen, I said last week I know that I wouldn't go with the Colts. And I'm not. Don't get me wrong. But Patriots sitting at -4.5 against the Colts this week. I'm going to roll with the Pats at -4.5 on this one. I think it's way too short of a number against the Colts team that is struggling. No Jonathan Taylor this week. Again, new quarterback, blown week last week against Washington. Pats struggled a little bit against the Jets, but to me, they're the much better team in this situation. Colts are, on just a continuing downward spiral. I can't see the Colts going into New England here in Foxborough and coming away with anything close to a victory. So rolling with the better team here. I don't even care who's quarterbacking for the Pats right now, even though Mac Jones is. But I'm just being a little sarcastic there. But sitting at -4.5 here, this is too low of a number for me to not pass on this game. Colts are struggling. Pats are in that groove where they're making a playoff push, and the Colts are not making any type of playoff push at all. So. Pats -4.5. This is my favorite pick of the week. Right off the bat, I got to go against my own team. What can I say? But they just not playing good. They suck. And the Pats -4.5. Just take that one to the bank. Dolphins on the road at the Bears. Listen, I think we're getting a little bit too much value here with the Bears coming off a big week against the Cowboys. Making a couple of different moves at the trade deadline, getting rid of some key defensive components, but also gaining some good offensive components for Justin Fields here. But I don't think it's going to be enough for a team that basically just pushed all their chips in. The Dolphins just pushed all their chips in. We're getting Bradley Chubb on the defensive side of the ball. They look great on the offense. Obviously, Tua's been playing really well since he came back from concussion. So the Dolphins -4.5 here. I like them on the road. I know it's a road game, but I like -4.5 here. I think the pick should be at more about -6. So I think we're getting good value here. Like I said, I think we're getting a little bit too much value with the Bears given the game against the Cowboys last week. So not rolling with, not buying into the hype on that one. Dolphins -4.5, making a big push here. Also, listen, this AFC East is really. I don't want to say it's not up for grabs, but there's a lot. The teams are really good right now. I mean, the Dolphins, Jets, Pats. They're all really good teams outside from obviously the Bills being basically 1 or 2 seed at the end of the season. So, Dolphins basically pushed all their chips in. They're rolling, and I like them at -4.5 here. Packers, Lions. Listen, Packers have a short price at -3, but I don't like that. I'm more looking at the over, given the fact that the Lions tend to give up a ton of points and the Pats tend to throw a ton of touchdowns against the Lions. So I'm going to go with the over 49.5 in this one. Packers, listen, this is another team that we keep saying that they're struggling to find a victory. This is a big week for them to try and get a victory to stay in somewhat of a playoff hunt, because they can be in the playoff hunt, given the fact that the not too many good teams in the NFC, or given that the records of the teams in the NFC. So Packers are still in it, But do I trust them to win the game? At this point, obviously, I really don't know if I trust them to win it, even though it's a -3. But Lions, you never know what you're going to get because they play very good offensive football. So they put up a lot of points, but they give up a lot of points too. So I'm rolling with the over 49.5 in this one. Next game, Chargers at Falcons. Rolling with another over here. Two big teams that give up tons of points and love to score. Falcons have been really, they're sitting first place in the division, putting up a lot of points out the season, and Chargers have been really good at the over, so I'm going to roll with the Chargers going in the Atlanta and getting the over 49.5 in this one as well. This one's to me, this one's a toss-up, and even on the win-loss category, this should be a really exciting game, and I can see both teams getting into the 30s very easily on this one. All right, this one, Rams at the Bucks. This one's tough because the Bucks are at -3 and they're in dire need of a victory, and they're in jeopardy of losing. I think they're fourth straight and sitting at 3-5 right now. Listen, the whole divorce thing has come and gone with Tom Brady and Giselle. So will Tom Brady's head be back in it? I feel like that whole thing has maybe passed him. So I think this would be good for him because I think that's played a big factor in the first few weeks, several weeks of the season. So, but I like the Rams here at +3. Listen, Bucks aren't playing really good football right now, but I think the Rams are in much need of a win more than the Bucks. I'm not sold on the Bucks, making a playoff push or anything like that. The Rams, however, I think that they're in a better situation that they can get a victory on the road here. It was a tough game against San Francisco last week for the Rams, but Rams getting 3 points here. I like this pick a lot. I would not be surprised if they roll away with a victory this week. It's tough to say, especially with the Bucks are in more need of a victory and everything, but I just don't think the Bucks are suited. I don't really know if they're going to be above 500 the way that they've been playing football. I will take the Rams on this one at +3. I think Cam Akers might be able to be in the lineup this week. It seems like that the whole trade thing didn't get traded, so it's kind of a bad situation. But I think that he's going to be able to help the team. So I like him at +3. Last pick of the week, another Monday Night Football game. Been liking the Monday Night Football games. There's been some good games on it, and this has been we've been pretty profitable on the Monday Night games. So I like the Ravens at -1.5 at New Orleans. Listen, Andy Dalton's going to be the starter for the rest of the foreseeable future, it seems. The Saints have been playing really good with Dalton at QB and Mixon and Taysom Hill and everything like that. But listen, Ravens, when it comes down to it, they're a much better team. They made some slam dunks at the trade deadline on both sides of the ball. Even signing Deshaun Watson and Deshaun Jackson. Who knows what's going to happen? He's a dynamic player. He might get that one or two plays that you get that deep ball, and bing, bang, boom, there you go. But they made some terrific moves at the trade deadline that's going to help them for the rest of the season. And I think that's going to put them into the first place, taking away my pick as the Browns winning that division at the preseason picks. So I love what the Ravens are doing at a short price at -1.5. I think they should be about 2.5. So 2.5, 3 is probably where they should have been, but I like it at -1.5 on the road. Monday Night Football. It's going to be a huge victory for the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a huge game. This is going to be a good offensive shootout, in my opinion. I think so, given the fact that how Kamara played last week. I think he's going to be able to bounce back and continue that progression. But ultimately, the Ravens come away with the victory. Okay, let's run it down one more time. Pat's my favorite pick of the week at -4 against my Colts. It's painful for me to say, and I got to be at my brother's house tomorrow, who's a Pats fan, and I'm a Colts fan, and I got to watch it with him and listen to him, blah, blah, blah. Well, and when I tell him that I took the Pats, then maybe he'll shut up. But Pats -4, favorite pick of the week. Dolphins -4, Packers Lions over 49.5, Chargers Falcons over 49.5. Rams +3, Ravens -1.5. Book all those. Let's get a clean sweep at 6-0 and catch you next week. Enjoy your week, guys.